I would just want to touch the fact that we are very concerned for the radicalization of the NTC. We have dubious characters like Belhaj and others who somehow managed to turn the West and to want to exercise politics. Yet we very much feel, and we have a serious sense of paranoia, that they are opportunistic. It's about one chance, one vote, one time. We want to see Libya go down the road of becoming Switzerland of the Middle East, not a failed state and towards Somali scenario.
First.
Here we go. Attack. Start.
Please, can you keep it down? Can we please keep it down? Can we have respect for our speakers, please? Can we get your time and question time to ask your question? Thank you.
I mean, just on the last comment, I just pick up on the issue of Belhaj. Belhaj, whatever someone's opinion of him is that this is a man who actually represents a mass current within Libya. He was someone who suffered for his opposition to the Libyan regime, including being tortured by the CIA and the Libyan regime. And he was actually on the ground and was the leader of those militia which actually opened up Bab al-Azizia, which was Gaddafi's final holdout inside Tripoli. And I remember his interview on the night of that on Al Jazeera, and you can see that the man obviously has the love of the people around him, and that he has a vision for the region. But that's just a small point on this issue. Regarding some of the things which were mentioned by Brother Ahmed inside his presentation, I think that some of it was a little bit, I would question some of your parallels, because somehow you said that political Islam is a failure, and you said from the Abbasids, it gave us the Abbasids, the Umayyads, the Ottomans, and Gaddafi. And everyone, it's well known that Gaddafi was very harsh against the Islamic opposition. He was actually a secular man. Not only was he a secular man, he actually came with his own religion, in effect, through his green book, where he denied the Sunnah inside its entirety, and actually ended up executing members of Hizb Tahrir because they accounted him on this basis, let alone some of the other...
Excuse me, can you keep it down, please? We'll get your time and question time. Have respect for our speakers, yeah? Thank you.
This is the thing. So I don't think we can make this kind of... It's a very, to me, from the academic perspective, it's a jump much too far, much too far. You've had the destruction of the Ottoman state, you've had the Sykes-Picot, you've had the division of the lands amongst the colonials, and all of this occurring before Gaddafi comes to power, and then he has his own vision, which is a secular Jumhuriyya, actually. This is what Libya was living underneath, not an Islamic state by any means. The other point which I would like, this is just some advice to Brother Ahmed, and it's actually sincere advice, because I've read your fatwa. And I find it a contradiction in terms that you want to say that Islam has got nothing to do with politics, but you give a fatwa to prove that. You bring from Islam and you say this is why.
It's incorrect.
I'll give you a chance.
Let me finish. But what I would say is that actually, if we want to look at fatwa and people of weight inside the Libyan society, the most popular Islamic scholar in Libya at this time is a man called Sheikh Sadiq al-Ghiryani. This is the person who has the most mass support amongst the youth and amongst the people. And he had gained more of that even at the beginning of the revolution, when he came out straight away against Muammar al-Gaddafi.
He's al-Wahhabi.
Let me just finish the point about him. Now his fatwa online, he actually, and this is I'm just trying to show something about the Libyan society. He gave his advice saying that it's not permitted for any Muslim to vote for anyone if they were going to bring anything on-Islamic. They have to bring Islam, and they have to say they're going to rule by Islam. And he said this about the Constitution. He said, regarding the Constitution, because the Constitution has to be written and agreed upon. Regarding the Constitution, it is not sufficient to say that Islam is a source of the Masdar min al-Story, and it's a source of the Constitution. It's not sufficient. Neither is it sufficient to say it's Masdar al-Asasi, the main source of the Constitution. He said this is a playing with words. Rather, it has to be Masdar al-Wahid. It has to be the single source for the Constitution. Now, That's Sadiq al-Gharyani, who is the most prominent Islamic figure inside Libya and the most respected. But just to show the Islamic feelings of the people, even when the NTC head, Abdul Jalil, came and gave his speech, I mean, I didn't like his speech, but he straight away threw out there, we're going to have Islam, we're going to have Shariah, we're going to have no interest inside the banks, we're going to allow 4 women to be married. I don't know why he came with this particular example. But what I'm trying to show is, he must recognize that inside the Libyan population, they have that strong love for Islam. And this is why I'm saying frankly to my brother Ahmed, here in the West you might find some takers for your call, but definitely in Libya there's not going to be anyone going to be hooking on to this idea.
Can I respond to that?
Okay. Mohammed Bouazizi, he addressed one important issue, and that's political legitimacy. From now on, nobody shall sit on that chair unless his legitimacy is derived from the ballot box. Prior to the 17th of February, many Arab countries, many failed Islamic states and Islamic systems, the political legitimacy used to come from 3 sources. One is the unholy alliance with the religious establishment. On the other side is the unholy alliance with the military establishment. And the third one, and I point out to the top, somehow the elusive connection with Western intelligence, the CIA and MI6. Somehow people used to believe, and they know that these players, they have a role like God. What we're saying, now there is a new pillar, which is people's power, that comes from grassroots level. And that will give you the mandate to sit on the chair for a fixed period. And Mohammed Bouazizi phenomena, Mohammed Bouazizi phenomena shall not stop until it liberates the clamps of dictatorships in Mecca. Coming back to Mustafa Abdel Jalil, the revolutionary forces during the Libyan uprising, they had a victory sign to wave all the time. The minute that Mustafa Abdel Jalil, the first important issue to address was that the men have the right to marry 4 wives, they started to do this. So actually I think the day that Egypt will wake up and they realize it's better for them to listen to Kulthum than to the murshid of Ikhwan al-Muslimin, they're on the right tracks. Hamas voices and votes are coming down. Those who say the solution is in the Quran and the Sunnah, this is nonsense. It makes nonsense. No, you have to build, there is an Arabic proverb, give the bread to the baker. There is a very famous Arabic proverb, أعط الخبز للخباز. So when you want to do nation building, state building, capacity building, give it to the specialist, not to the imam. We're saying that the man with the turban shall stay out, and the man with the military hat shall stay out. Leave the political arena to the technocrats, to the civil society, to people's power.
We can take our response to the course of that.
I'm going to open up a Q&A now. Just a brief thing. Please respect our audience, our speakers, and yourselves. I'm going to take 3 questions at a time. Keep it concise and to the point. You ready? Can you stand up, please?
It says in the Quran and Sunnah made it clear that Prophet had established a system to rule by. This system is from Allah, our Creator, and ultimately Allah will give us the best system that we will live by. So are you suggesting that we should import a system from the West, democracy, rather than using the Islamic one? And are you suggesting that man, who has created this democratic system, knows better than Allah?
No.
Good. I'm just going to take 2 more questions on them. Yes.
Well, I'd just like to explain what you then mean by Islamic secular democracy. So how does Islam then fit in that perspective? I just like to remember that Switzerland recently banned minarets. So
What's the relevance? It's irrelevant. No relevance. No relevance. In the same way that Saudi Arabia bans churches.
I'm going to let you answer that.
Excuse me, can we have civilized debate, please?
Assalamu alaikum. Woodrow T. Wilson, I believe, said that democracy is mob rule, where 51% of the people have a divine right to take away the right of 49% of the people. For example, if in the United States of America the Civil Rights Act was put to a referendum, I am quite sure that the vast majority of white people would have denied the civil rights of the African Americans. Therefore, my question is, why do people have a strong desire for democracy? Do we not need a set of rules, laws and regulations that are divinely etched in stone that ensure that 51% of the people do not oppress 49% of the people? So my question is this, brother from Hizb, is there an electoral system in Islam whereby the majority will not oppress the minority, number one? And to you, brother, if the vast and overwhelming majority of the people in Libya and the Arab world definitively vote for a caliphate and they say, look, we want khilafah, 90% say we have a strong desire for khilafah, will you respect that decision and say, look, go ahead with it, let the imams take absolute rule of Libya? Will you say that?
Yes.